Yeah, 4-0 the result then in the end to Anfield, and it was pretty comfortable and emphatic for Jurgen Klopp's side, Cass, who, when they went 2-0 up, it took them to 700 goals scored since Jurgen Klopp arrived at Anfield. Obviously now you can make that 702 because they added two furthermore to that. They have become the first top-flight team in English football to score at least twice in 17 straight matches in all competitions since Sunderland did it back in 1927. I mean, you sort of look at the way Liverpool are playing, and in some ways it's, Chelsea are top of the table as things stand. They're a point clear. They obviously can extend that if they beat Manchester United today. But excluding Chelsea, the way Liverpool are playing, the amount of goals they're scoring, it's like title-winning form, really.
Well, you've got three teams who are playing title-winning form.
Yeah, true.
Chelsea, City and Liverpool are all doing the same thing. Okay, Chelsea are slightly in front at the moment. I'll ask you a question, Nat. Is Jota as good a buy as Salah? Now, Salah's been there longer, but if you think that from September 20, he's come to the football club.
Oh, he's taken to it, and I'm clicking my fingers like that.
Yeah, I mean, look, Salah's been there way longer and got loads more goals. But Jota's numbers are really good as well. Yeah. He's already got 8 goals for Liverpool. He's been out the side at times, coming off from the bench. I mean, obviously we know Roberto Firmino's been injured, and when you've had him sort of down the middle, as you have had for Liverpool, then when there's been an injury to him, it's always been like, well, who do you replace him with? Now, obviously, there had been... Well, it's easy now, isn't it?
Yeah, with Divock Origi, yes, okay, and don't get me wrong, Origi has scored some very important goals. We know that for Liverpool. But he's never really, maybe not really been given a proper chance, or if it's not that, he's never really fully taken it. You put Jota in there now, it's just the options that Jurgen Klopp has is pretty exciting. Yeah, well, Firmino's a different type of player and has done brilliant for Liverpool. He's been superb for Liverpool as a footballer. His numbers last year were quite poor. Jota looks like he will easily outscore Firmino. If you want to go just stats alone, sure. I'm pretty sure that I would go Jota over Firmino for numbers. He doesn't do things that Firmino will do for the team, where the areas he'll play in. There are different. But it's just knowing you have... Well, you've got 3 goal scorers in your forward line. Yeah. Of high numbers. And you could argue that, they've had that with Firmino anyway, with Mane and Salah. They're 3 goal scorers in there, but I don't think Firmino's numbers would be as high as Jota's if Jota was playing every week, because he's been a sub quite often and still comes on and change games. His quality of his finishes, of what we've seen in recent weeks, have been superb. He gets chances a bit like Mo Salah all the time. I mean, that's the one thing I've had the conversation with over the last couple of years, Nat, is every time you watch Salah, he gets chances. Whether he scores or not, he always gets them and he finds space. Jota's that type of player as well. He gets chances in games regularly. Well, he scored 2 yesterday. It was also Thiago and Van Dijk on the score sheet. You mentioned Mo Salah. He had a big part to play in that second goal for Jota, the assist. And he's now been directly involved in 25 goals in all competitions this season. That's 17 scored, 8 assisted. That's more than double that of any other Premier League player. No, and that's Mo Salah really in a nutshell, Nat, is relentless work to create, to also provide and also score. He does that brilliantly well. It's really hard to, what Liverpool do, what Klopp has managed to achieve with, Jota's only 24, but to have Mane at like 28, 29 years old and Salah closing into 30, to still do what they do in their work rate is exceptional. It really is. I know Jurgen Klopp's been asked about this already, the Africa Cup of Nations, where Salah and Mane are obviously going to be going, and a really important tournament for them to be a part of. I suppose one helps that you've got someone like Jota who is scoring regularly at the moment. So I think it's still a big blow to lose those 2 players. And I don't think there's like loads of games. I think Liverpool play 3 games in the Premier League in January. Right. Okay. I think there's 3. So I'm not cast iron sure, but I think it's only 3 games. So you sort of get them back in a time where you feel you haven't lost that much. Yes. Yeah, that's yes, absolutely. And Jurgen Klopp has sort of mentioned that as well. But it helps, as I say, that you've got someone like Jota. It's just obviously you need the creativity around him, hopefully, to help him out. But that's to come in January, obviously.
Yeah, it is now. On one thing as well that I think is really vitally important yesterday, because Southampton went with a 3 at the back and pushed the 2 wing backs on. It doesn't help when you go 1-0 down after 2 minutes and then 3-0 down by half time, which. If you're going to play that way, one thing you've got to try and do is keep a clean sheet
early doors
and build something, because once you go 1-0 against Liverpool on early doors, it's very hard.
Well, why do you think he was doing that? I mean, obviously he had that intent of attacking football, Ralph Hasenhüttl, but he had to change it, and he did change it. But why would you play that way at Anfield against a Liverpool side that will look to get him behind with their wing backs, for example?
Well, then he knows the danger's out wide. He knows that Mane and Salah are going to be coming from every angle, and he's probably thinking, well, that's the best way to protect my team. It's not easy, Nat. You could play 4 at the back and get beat 5-0, 4-0,
Yeah.
When you play Liverpool on song. Like I said at the very start, we have 3 teams who are playing Premier League winning form. And it's the one who does it over the course of the season that's going to be the best of the 3. Because if you said to me now, who do I think is the best to win the Premier League, Chelsea, Man City and Liverpool, I could make an argument for all 3. I could.
Of course. And now we need to see how Chelsea are going to fare against Manchester United today, because now that Liverpool put 4 past Southampton, it ramps it up for... And also Manchester City, of course, who are playing West Ham today.
Yeah, apart from opposing fans, it's an absolute joy to watch these 3 play, because when they're on and what they do to the opposition and how they go about their business. And by the way, the one thing all 3 of them have got in common is the incredible relentless work rate of their teams. All 3 of them have got the same. They play in slightly different ways, but they've got the dynamic of incredible tempo in their play.